tough going. It's tough going. It's sinking in. I want to be down low, but all the down low spots are very slushy. Mount Toby from Reservation Road. This is technically the Robert Frost Trail. See by those orange markings. So it's a mix of like ice and packed snow and mushy snow, because in some spots it's getting mushy and it's like really challenging to walk on comfortably. And then of course there are things in the way. just in case I wasn't having enough fun already with the challenge of the walk. But since I've been hiking up Mount Sugarloaf over in South Deerfield, this hike is a little more of a challenge. That's a straight shot. It's really easy, and I've gotten comfortable with walking up in about 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes, walking back down in 20. Hanging out there for a while. So with that level of comfort and getting to the top of the mountain there without sweating or without breaking a sweat, and then sitting for a little bit, cooling down and coming back down, I'm like, yeah, I should probably try a few things that are a little more challenging. Can top on my being out of breath, that this is a little more of a challenge for me. But it feels good. I know one of the things that's been bothering me lately is my right knee under my kneecap, and it's the joint. And the joint feels like when I sit down and I press against my sciatic nerve and I press on the gas or the brake or whatever sitting, and then I'm standing up and I'm not doing any exercise or flexion or whatever, that joint, if I just move. It's funny how we find things if we just slow down and allow ourselves to sit with feelings we're having, that we don't have to have somebody else treat us. We just pause and do. But I'm finding that with the other hike, it's become such a routine that it's easy, and I know my expectations. So I want to feel uncomfortable. I want to stretch my muscles. I want to take care of my right knee joint before it becomes an issue. So I want to build muscle. And going to the gym is wonderful, and I appreciate those people, those friends of mine, those connections that go to the gym and that have that as a consistent thing. And it's my goal to be consistent with going outside to get those same needs met that I would at a gym, stretching the knees, lifting, whatever it takes to be pushing this little machine forward and exercising and stretching. And I'm tightening in my back and yoga, stretch, twist, side bend with a rotation upward to lift my chest towards the sky, having a yoga practice, regardless of what it follows or feels like. Having that regular stretching makes a huge difference in my life, in the way I feel. And then I think, oh, there are other things. I hurt here and I'm struggling here, and struggle is just part of everything. We all struggle. One way or another. We all are challenged by the deep, wet areas of life that bog us down. We could step into those holes literally or stay in them, or we could walk past them, walk through them, walk around them, and don't let them be a stopping point. I think of many things in my life that have become stopping points, and how I've kept myself from following my dreams. And now with my YouTube channel. I'm following my dreams and it's not accomplishing anything. And that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. None of it matters. So it might not make you rich, but if you follow your dreams, you'll feel like you're fulfilling your own joy. But understand that you can't always be in joy, that you have to go through hardship and challenge in order to grow. And I think when we, Luna, piss on it, she says, when we challenge ourselves with the fact that to grow and to learn past a stopping point is something that we have to give ourselves, it's kind of comforting and humbling in the same moment. And it's also not comfortable. It's not something that is celebrated or joyous. And when we share it with others, it becomes our word. And then people hold us to our word to be accountable. Or they don't. In which case, we're challenged with keeping our own word without being held accountable. And then there's that whole accountability thing that has been coming up recently. And I think of the bigger picture of accountability and the smaller picture of that and what that looks like. And I've run out of ice. So the metaphor there is that sometimes we have to walk through our own mud and get really filthy dirty in order to clean up on the other side of things. Oh, damn. You know, it's not easy. It's just not easy. So while I'm dwelling on that idea, life is not easy and so on. It's fun to have a partner, someone who will hold us accountable. We are ultimately in charge of that ourselves. So I hold myself accountable for the times that I miss out on going to the gym with you. I miss out on all kinds of opportunities because I've taken it upon myself to record this life, this challenge, this mud pit, this hole, this disgusting thing that I have to do in order to get from here to there. But all in all, if I don't, and I don't share it, what have I done? I've done a disservice to myself as a teacher, an educator. I've done a disservice to the world, those who are listening. And I've done a disservice to the earth by not fulfilling what I feel to be my purpose. Share my knowledge. Share my viewpoint, my understanding of myself and the bigger picture, what it means to be in alignment, what it means not to be in alignment, and what it means to do an ordinary thing and have it be like work. Seeing tracks. There's some interesting tracks. It's a hoof and it has two, like a thumb almost. There's another hoof and a thumb, a little bit of so probably a male, a buck, and maybe a younger one. Interesting. It was going the other direction, of course. But there the tracks are. Probably a few days old. I don't know how old this is. Tracks in the snow. I haven't done much tracking. I said I was going to have a tracking series this winter, and winter got to be kind of hellish and really super challenging in many ways. Oh, that's a really nice one. That makes me think moose. Just the points, but then it could also be sort of a cleft from a larger deer, Odocoelius virginiana. I'm starting to remember the genus and species. That's white-tailed deer. Genus and species and the Latin names, and I think those are important because without the Latin name, nobody knows what you're talking about, which is why people get poisoned from eating toadstools, because there are about 50 different mushrooms that are called toadstools. But a true toadstool, but yeah, give it its name, genus and species, and everybody in the world can identify it. Always do a spore print. Did you know that there are winter mushrooms also? I'm not going to find any today because this is primarily coniferous forest. But there are mushrooms that are available throughout the winter. Not really mushrooms, fungus. So I look on these sticks over here, which are a mix of deciduous and coniferous, and I think, oh, there's probably some in there somewhere. Some Excidia racisa, but I can't see it from here. That's wood ear. It could also be wet, and it could be like fully hydrated. Looks like a mix of stuff. I see other things in there, but I don't want to walk off the path because it's like gloomy until I'm like absolutely sure I'm gonna find. I see something. Yep, they're dried. Until I find something absolute, I'm not going off the path. Except it's not. It's just the bark. I thought I was seeing little barnacles sticking out, but that's what it is. But I think here we have the beginning of the mycelia are there. So anyway, the Excidia racisa, which is wood ear, black wood ear, or Excidia nigricans is black wood ear. Oh, I just stepped in and sunk right up into my pants. That's annoying. All right, definitely want to walk off the path for that next bit. More deer tracks. This is the problem with multitasking. What do you call it? Juggling? Multitasking? What do you call it? I call it juggling or multitasking. Someone else I need to call it juggling. Multitasking. Doing multiple things at the same time. I lose track of one thing and I start on something else, and I apologize for that. If I lost you on that fungus, stick with my mycology series or playlist. I have a mycology playlist and I have a mushrooms playlist. And the mushrooms playlist is more edible mushrooms. The ones that are only edible I think of as mushrooms, and they're primarily mushrooms. And the mycology one is on everything mycology. Be that mycelial spread and so forth, down to growing medicinal and edible mushrooms and identifying and so on and so forth. So everything mushrooms is that one. Mushrooms and fungus. So Excidia racisa is actually a fungus that is like a barnacle that grows under the bark of twigs on mostly deciduous trees. Excidia racisa, also. Excidia nigricans is black and it grows in more or less the same places. And Excidia glutinosa is a sugary one which grows, I think, primarily on maple. I don't know what other wood it grows on. I think it's primarily maple, maybe beech, but I haven't actually ever seen it growing on anything but maple. Red maple, rock maple probably, I'm not sure, but mostly deadwood. But there's another variety of wood ear that's not quite like wood ear. It's a little bit different. It has to be treated a little bit differently also, is witch's butter, which many people are familiar with, which grows primarily on hemlock wood, but also grows on pines and other conifers. And I will find a clump of that, and it will probably be relatively well hydrated because the ground has been very wet. That's a trail, believe it or not. It's a trail of tears right now as the earth cries and mourns the loss of winter. And no doubt we are gleeful as human beings, enjoying and basking in its warmth, surrendering to the mud and all that is disgusting and brown that sticks to our feet. Oh, God. This is not easy to walk. Oh, my God. Oh, thank God for Cotulla. Cotulla has been a trail and foot savior for the winter. Micro spikes. Oh, look, I love it when she does this. Luna, roll. Roll in it, Luna. She's just laying down and rolling in the snow. She actually loves it because, one, she wants to get that pack off of her. She keeps shaking and adjusting it, but also she gets toasty and then she just wants to lay down in something like water, but I won't let her swim right now because that'll get the pack pretty nasty. But she'll take the opportunity to lay down in snow, which is really cute. There she goes. Anyway, I'm gonna pause the video for now because I feel like I need both hands free. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of the greater picture. And we're going the other way. That goes to the cave. We're going this way. Luna. She's just sniffing. We're following the Robert Frost Trail, which is now a stream. Cheers.